Hello everyone, welcome back to Com Concepts Pro. In some of my last videos, we have already discussed the concept of hashing in data structures and some of conflict resolution techniques which are required to resolve the collision which arise in hashing. And today we are going to discuss two more conflict resolution methods which are quadratic probe and double hashing. In case of collision, the quadratic probe conflict resolution technique guides us to find out the next available empty slot for our key with the help of this formula. So let's understand this formula. Here, hash of x is the value calculated using the division method hash function, where we find out the remainder by dividing the key value with the table size. Next is fi, which is the function to find out the square of I, where we will start substituting the value of I from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. And finally, h size. This is the total number of slots available in our hash table. Now let's see an example how to implement quadratic probe. So these are the keys that we have to store in our hash table. And let's say our h size is 10, which means total there are 10 slots in our hash table. So as usual, first we will apply division method hash function to find out the hash values, and in case there is a conflict, then we will apply the formula for the quadratic probe. So this is the quadratic probe formula that we will use in case there is a collision. So our first key is 37 and table size is 10. So 37 mod 10 is 7. So 37 will be stored at the index position 7. Next is 90. 90 mod 10 gives 0. So 90 will be stored at the index position 0. Next comes 55. 55 mod 10 gives 5. So 5 will also be stored at index position 5. 55 will be stored at the index position 5. Then the next key is 22. 22 mod 10 gives 2. So 22 will be stored at the index position 2. Next is 11. 11 mod 10 gives 1. So 11 will be stored at the index position 1. So till now there was no conflict and all the keys are stored without any collision at their respective index positions. Next comes the key 17. 17 mod 7 again gives 7. So the index position 7 is already occupied by the key 37, as you can see. So now here we have to apply the formula for quadratic probe. So this 7 is the result that comes from the division method, means this is hash of x. This 7 is hash of x. So then we'll find out fi, function fi. So first we'll substitute the value of I with 0 and find out the square, which is also 0. So and then mod h size, which is 10. So 7 plus 0 square gives 7 mod 10, which again gives 7. So 7th position is already occupied. So now we'll increase the value of I. So hash of x is 7. Then fi will be this time 1 square, which is 1. So 7 plus 1 gives 8. Then mod h size will give 8 mod 10 will give 8 only. So 7 will be stored at the index position, 17 will be stored at the index position 8. Alright. So next key is 49. 49 mod 10 gives 9. So 49 will be stored at the index position 9. So our last key is 87. 87 mod 10 gives 7. So again there is a conflict. So again we have to use the formula for quadratic probe. So this 7 is hash of x, which comes from the result of the division method, plus fi. So first initially in the first step value of I is 0, so I square means 0 square. So 7 plus 0 square will give 7. Mod h size will result 7. So which is already occupied. Then we have to increment the value of I. So fi will be I square, which is 1 square this time. So 7 plus 1 square will be 8, and then mod 10 gives 8, but 8 index position 8 is also already occupied. So again we have to increment the value of I. So this time I will be 2 square. So 7 plus 2 square gives 11. So 11 mod 10 is h size. So 11 mod 10 gives 1, which is also occupied. So again we will increment I for one more time. So fi will be 3 square, which gives 9. So 7 plus 9 gives 16. 16 mod 10 is 6. So index position 6 is empty as of now. So we can store 87 at the index position 6. So this is how the formula for quadratic probe works. Next comes double hashing. Here also the first step is to find out the hash value with the help of division method. But the next step is little different from other conflict resolving methods. Here, in case of a collision, we have to apply this formula. Here, m is not the table size but a prime number just less than the table size. Now, our second formula should follow these two conditions. Firstly, it should never give the result 0, and it should be able to probe all the hash table slots so that whenever there is an empty slot available, we can store our data. Let's understand double hashing also with the help of an example. So these are the keys that we have to store in our hash table. And this is the formula which we will use in case of conflict. Our table size in this case is 9, and so our m will be 7 because it should be a prime number just less than the table size. So first we will use the division method hash function to find out the empty available slots for our keys, and in case there is a conflict then we will use this formula. So our first key is 37. So 37 mod 9 is 1. So 37 will be stored at the index position 1. Next key is 90. 90 mod 9 gives 0. So 90 will be stored at the index position 0. Then the next key is 45. 45 mod 9 again gives 0. So now we have to use the double hashing formula to resolve the conflict. So first we will substitute the value of m, which is 7, minus our key, which is 45 mod m, which is 7. So 45 mod 7 gives 3. So 7 minus 3 gives 4. So this doesn't mean that we have to store the key at index position 4. Yes, we will store it at index position 4, but how? In double hashing, what we have to do, we have to move those many index positions next to the index position which we got from the division method. Like in this case, we got the index position 0 when we applied division method hash function on our key, So and then there was a conflict, and then after applying the formula for double hashing we got the result 4. So we have to move 4 positions from 0, which was the result of double hashing hash function. Oh sorry, which was the result of division method hash function. So that way we will store 45 at the index position 4. The next key is 22. 22 mod 9 gives 4, which is already occupied. So again we will use double hashing conflict resolution formula. So 7 minus key mod m, key is 22. So 22 mod 7 gives 1. So 7 minus 1 is 6. So now we have to move 6 positions from 4. So 6 positions from 4 is the index position 1. How? Like position 1, then position 2, 3, 4, and then again from the index position 0 and 1. So this is a 6th position, but this is also already occupied. So we will move to one next position and store our key there. So which is index position 2, and we will store our key 22 at index position 2. Next key is 17. 17 mod 9 gives 8. So without any conflict we will store the key 17 at index position 8. Next key is 49. 49 mod 9 again gives 4. So we will use the double hashing conflict resolution formula. So inside the bracket key mod m, key is 49. So 49 mod 7 gives 0. So 7 minus 0 is 7. So we have to move 7 positions ahead of index position 4. So we will reach to index position 2, which is also already occupied. So then we have to move to the next empty slot, which is position 3. So we will store our key 49 at the index position 3. Finally, the last key is 55. 55 mod 9 gives 1, which is already occupied. So again we will use double hashing formula. So inside the bracket 55 mod 7 gives 6. So 7 minus 6 is 1. So we have to move one position ahead of 1 because the result of division method hash function was 1. So we will move one position ahead of index position 1, which is 2, which is also already occupied. So we will move to the next available slot. So directly we will reach to the index position 5 because all other slots in between are occupied. So directly at the index position 5 we can store our key 55. So this was the working of double hashing conflict resolution method. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.